Yo, what's goody? It's Bear in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kueen Talk. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this episode. Y'all, today I got something special. You guys, for the first time, Kueen Talk has two special guests. We got a couple here with us today, Doniesha and Golden. Please welcome Doniesha and Golden. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Thank you guys for being guests on Kueen Talk. I appreciate having you guys. And you guys are in Texas, right?
Yes, we live in Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas. But hey, they are originally from Kansas City, y'all. So we got some Kansas City right down the way. God's like, nah, I ain't from Kansas City. St. Louis, hey, y'all.
I'm from Kansas City.
Okay, St. Louis, Kansas City. Both are right down the way, though. Both are right there. So, what took you to Texas?
For me, I was just looking for a change. I had been in St. Louis my whole life, except for when I went to Columbia, Missouri, to go to college. But just looking for a change. And every time I came down to Dallas, I have some family that live down here. I never wanted to go home. So I said, why not make that move? I have a career to where I can pretty much live anywhere and do what I do. So I came to Texas 5 years ago, and I'm loving it.
I love that.
For me, Dallas has been on my radar since like 2016. Close friends of mine, we used to come down here almost like every year, whether it be Memorial Day or Labor Day. And during COVID, I was in the middle of finishing up my bachelor's degree, and I also worked in education at that time. So we were laid off because we were not face to face anymore. And I was just 2 semesters shy of finishing. So I said, hey, why don't I just move? And since we're all going virtual, I can just finish my degree in Texas. So I moved down here July 2020, and it's been a movie since.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love the weather here. I love the social scene. Kansas City can be a little dangerous. So it's nice to be able to have fun without worrying about getting hurt. And since I do still work in education, there's so many opportunities since DFW is such a big area.
Yeah, it definitely is. As far as like the queer scene specifically, you mentioned it being like dangerous, Kansas City versus Texas. But what about the queer scene, Kansas City versus Texas as well?
You know what? I actually was not out when I lived in Kansas City. So my exposure to the queer scene was kind of minimal. I will say that since I have been out and I have participated when I go to visit home, it's really not as large as it is here in Dallas. I think that there are a lot of like different promotional groups that are getting together doing certain things around the city, but I don't remember having that outside of like one event we had at the Riverwalk when I lived there. So I cannot really say, but I can say here they have like a strip. It's called the Parenthood.
Yeah.
That is really nice to have just that community. I mean, grocery stores, clinics, apartments, barbershops, salons, nail spots. I mean, everything they need is right there. So I really love that for queer people here in Dallas.
What about you, Golden, in St. Louis versus Texas?
Oh man, St. Louis, it was. I mean, we had it. We used to have this club. We have this area where they had a few gay bars, and we had this club called Attitudes. And on Thursday nights, it was Black Night. But we gonna
okay.
It was. It was good for Black people, but that was pretty much the only place that I can remember in St. Louis that really just felt like a safe space for queer people. And I do believe that they're closed now. So I couldn't even tell you what is happening in St. Louis now.
Okay. And so, Doniesha, you mentioned recently, and it's been like a few years for you out, but Golden, you've been out for some time or living your authentic self? Like, how long has it been for you?
I have been living my authentic self since I was about 18 years old.
Hey, love that for you. I love that for you.
Yeah, since I was 18, I do know that I had always, I felt different when I was a child. I would look at girls and I would feel a way about it. Didn't really understand what was going on because I wasn't exposed to gay people. But as I got older and started having my own experiences, and especially when I went away to college, just being exposed to different things and just learning who I was and being more comfortable with being who I am within myself. And I don't really have the whole coming out story. I didn't feel like it was necessary for me to come out to my friends and my family. I did, however, tell my mom and my dad that I was gay and I was a lesbian and I wanted to spend my life with women. And my mom took it really well. My dad, I'm 33 now. My dad's still coming to terms with it. So we're getting there, but surprisingly, my sister had already knew.
Okay.
So when she found out, she was like, "Girl, I already knew that."
Hey, them siblings be knowing though. They be having your back though.
They do. She didn't tell anybody. My sister just one-on-one. She just loved me. Unconditional love is with her through and through.
I love that. I love that. Now, I'm like trying to like figure out a different term to be like. I'm like starting to say like authentic self, because coming out, like, right, it's like straight people don't have to come out. What, like the word coming out? It's like, how do we just like live our truth? Like when can we start doing that? I think is like a better way. I'm trying to like frame it, because this is right. Like a lot of who don't have like this coming out story. It doesn't have to be either. So normalizing it doesn't have to be like this big ordeal thing. But Doniesha, you have you guys been together? You guys are married too, so like a few years. Like, is this your first relationship? What was your story?
That's a good questions, Bear. Yes, funny you ask. This is my first relationship with a woman.
Okay.
My coming out story, like I kind of have one because I was a closeted bisexual, and that's because I grew up Kojic. So I'm a preacher's granddaughter, and that was very much frowned upon. Being in this relationship with my wife has really kind of helped me learn what my sexual identity is. And through this relationship, I have learned that I have been attracted to women since I was in middle school, but I hid that. So like now, I have had a private relations with women for maybe about 10 years, but I have never like actually exclusively dated a woman until her. So after I met her and expressed my infatuation with her and we started dating and I started experiencing romantic feelings for her, I had to have like a come to Jesus moment, like, this is gay. Like, I'm not understanding how I still feel the same type of romantic feelings I feel for her that I felt for men. And oh my God, so like I still have a relationship with God, and I had to have that come to Jesus moment in conversation in which I was just like, if it's not supposed to be, intervene quickly. And that never happened. So, after I had ran that past him and coming to myself, I just told everybody at once, like, yeah, this is who I'm going to be with. And I've been defending her and defending our love ever since.
When was that in your point in your relationship where you did express your relationship to others?
So, funny. So we dated for 7 months and then I proposed to her.
Oh. Okay.
She says that I had told her I loved her 3 months in. But I'm not gonna say that wasn't true. But I will tell you, within those first 6 months, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the greatest like connection I've ever had in my life. Like the communication, the romance, everything was effortlessly. I just could not see my life without her. And I had previously made like, some comments like, oh my gosh, I can't see myself being with a woman. Just fear, because I've never done it before and I don't know how that would look. But I just could not pass up on having somebody so amazing. So I was just like, I'm just gonna throw it out there and ask her and see if she feels the same. So we ended up celebrating my 31st birthday, and I mean it was a 3-part celebration. I can't remember part 1. Was it dinner?
Yeah.
Okay, dinner, and then it was like a romantic boat ride, and then like a nightcap where we went out dancing. And when we were on that boat ride, I guess a part of the setup was to put like a bottle in the lake with a message inside, and it said "Happy Birthday." Like I opened it and put it out. It said "Happy Birthday, baby." And after that, I was just like, yeah, like that's like that was the first time someone ever done such a grand gesture for me. And we were not exclusively dating at the time. She just cared enough. I was just like, yeah, I have to lock that in. So 2 weeks later, I proposed to her.
Hey, locked it in. Locked it in. Golden, what was your perspective on, have you dated women that were not out yet? Was this a first time for you? And if so, like, how did you navigate? Like, what was that like for you?
So this was my first time dating someone that wasn't out, and I guess she wasn't being honest with herself for the most part. Like she had told me her past type of relationships. I had met like the woman that she had been having they wasn't in a relationship. They were having relations for what, 4 or 5 years? That's a long time.
Yeah.
So it's, and like she said, we touched base, we were dating, but she was making comments. She was making comments about how she didn't know if she could see herself being with a woman. So that kind of pushed me back a little bit with my vulnerability and expressing how I felt to her, because I didn't want to get hurt. I had already came from a previous relationship to where I was hurt. So we dated, we was having fun. I said, well, we're just gonna have fun. If it goes to something, it goes to something. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I was kind of worried of going that next step with her until she made that commitment. And I guess the birthday solidified that for her, because yeah, look, like what she said, 2 weeks later, she proposed to me, and we really had a heart to heart, and we had sat down and had a conversation, and just said that we want to be with each other. We've been doing this for 7 months. We have really come to terms that we checking off the boxes that we were wanting in a relationship. The things that we had compiled as a list of what we want in a partnership, just from reflecting on our last relationship. And here we've been married. In October it'll be 3 years for us.
Nice.
So
So y'all, hey, that's 7 months. Hey, it worked. It worked.
That's 7 months. Right. I didn't even get to explore Dallas.
No, for real. Yeah, that's another good point, Bear, because I mean, I was only here maybe 5 or 6 months ahead of her.
Yeah,
but I ended up
July of 2020. I moved December.
So I ended up meeting someone, and we ended up dating for about a year. They were both aware, but
overlapped.
They overlapped. I was honest. I was not. They were aware. So I ended up dating a person for like a year, and then she ended up meeting someone like the next year, and they dated for like 6 months. But I joke with her all the time, because I'm just like, well, I got to date a person for a year, and I went on some other little dates, but that was the longest time frame where you really didn't even get to see what was out there. So sorry about that.
I dated a few people, but I was real hard on what I wanted. So after we had went on a couple of dates, we had a couple of conversations. If we really wasn't on the same wavelength, I just ended it.
Yeah. And you're Golden, you got to experience it since you're 18, so you've got the dating experience.
I was like, I didn't did
it. Yeah. So in Texas now, and you guys are married 3 years, what did your wedding look like? After 7 months, had your families met each other? I know you're still fighting till this day. Like, what did that look like for you guys?
So we got engaged November of 2021. Doniesha met my family that lived here in Dallas. We get together every Christmas. Everyone comes to Dallas and we get together. So she had met them, and we told them that we were getting married.
So that
Doniesha.
was the first time they met, and that was the first
Well,
time.
no, you know what? That wasn't. But my August. They met her in August for my 30th birthday. But we at that time we were still dating. Nobody except for our close friends.
Kind of low key.
Nobody knew that we were dating. But we was at the pool. And my mom was there, and my mom watches everything. Kept touching me, like she kept touching me.
I was in her floating.
And my mom's like, "Who's that girl that keep bothering my baby?"
Floaty, but you know, she got me.
She had some of my family there, and all of my close friends were there. So then she met some more people that didn't attend my birthday party, birthday events that weekend. She met them in December. She ended up having to tell her family over the phone, and I didn't meet her grandmother because her grandmother raised her. I met her grandma in June of 2022.
Yes.
And your brother. I met her brother and her grandmother, and I just met her mom this year. So she hasn't met my dad, yet. Yeah. They're going to meet this weekend. They're either going to meet this weekend, or he's planning to come down here in a couple of months. It'll be his first time down here. But she'll meet him then.
He's ready. He's ready to meet me.
He been asking about her.
Okay. So all right, I'm gonna put a pin in that, but I want to go back to the wedding. So your guys' wedding, was it just a small wedding with you guys in Dallas, Texas? Or did you guys come back to like the Kansas City area, or?
So our wedding, so we did, we eloped. We wanted to do our own private vow, so we found this woman. She's a Black woman here in Dallas.
Inclusive.
We eloped with her, and then we just had a reception. And I'm going to say about 95%. We had 100 people. About 95% of the guests there were friends.
Okay. Okay.
And queer.
Yeah. So we had people travel from all over. They came from Kansas City. They came from St. Louis. We had some people in Houston, Austin area. My sister and mom live in Virginia, so they came out here to support. So we had it was beautiful.
It was
through our guest list, we wanted to make sure that we had people on our guest list that supported us as a unit, and not people that just, I like Golden, so I'm going to just go in there to support her. Right. No, we're now a unit. We are family, so you have to love both of us. We didn't want just anybody at the wedding, but it was beautiful.
That's good.
They still talk every time we get together with our friends. They talk about it. They want
do it again.
They want us to do it again, but no,
it was exciting.
I love that for you guys, and friends turn into family too. So like, that's good that you guys had that support. And what was that like? I know like you hear Texas, you hear red state, the laws, and for you guys, was it easy during that time for you guys to get married and like legally wise and no problems at all?
It was easy.
No pushback from the venue. She was very supportive of us being queer. It was awesome. I mean, we did not feel any type of way. Everybody worked so beautiful with us. Even our wedding planner that we found through maybe Thumbtack.
Found her through Thumbtack.
Yeah. So,
our videographer was queer. It was beautiful. And the one thing that happened, because Doniesha's mother wasn't at our reception when we were getting ready, my mom stayed with her just so she could have, my mom and her god sister was with her just so she can have someone in the room with her. And my mom, she was willing to do it. She offered to do it. So my mom has loved her and embraced her. When we talk, when she's talking about us, she says, my daughters. She's like, y'all sister. Like,
I love that.
Doniesha.
I love that. That's good. I'm glad your mother, like, you have that for you guys. It's good to have like a supportive parent And when you do, it does go a long way. That's another reason why my Queen Talk is like, I want parents to see this and know, like, your child's the same. Like, the love, it's unconditional love. Like, that's your child, right?
She's an
So,
excellent example of unconditional love. We joked last year because she was up here to help her through her ACL recovery, and we were just like, we have to put on a serious face and everything. We went and conjured up this in the bedroom. We were like, we're gonna say that we talked and we're thinking about like separating, and we had to like really get into character. So we came out here and we kept a straight face and everything, and I was just like, yeah, we're just not seeing it eye to eye. And she was like, I know you kidding. You gotta be lying. Like, she was distraught. We just playing, girl. She literally was just like, ain't no way. So that was really refreshing to know.
My mom is one of them women. When I told her, she was like, I don't care about none of that. She was like, you're my daughter. I love you. If that's what you want to do, it's not my life. That's your life to live, and I'm gonna love whoever is loving you.
mm-hmm. Yeah. My mom's the same way. My mom, I do vendor stuff. My mom would be at the vendors with me. My mom be selling the merch for me. She'd be at all the pop-ups, sharing the stuff. So, like,
I love it.
Yes.
That's such a blessing, because not everyone in our circle has that type of story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And that's why I'm like, building that community like you guys did. It's important to do that, like, to have that support system, to lean on each other. Because I feel like also, just like being a queer and Black, like, having those friends, like, you really get it. Like, you understand, like, my full identity of, like, what I have to deal with walking in this world and navigating in this world. So, like, you get the best understanding of what I'm going through. So, for sure. And you, Doniesha, like, you don't have that support system on your family side, or do you?
And so my family is very religious. So again, I grew up Kojic, and my grandmother is still very heavily involved in the church. She is a real saved and sanctified person. So she gets along with Golden very well. When they see each other, she just talks her ear off. Their birthdays are a day apart, and she just loves her. Loves to chat with her, and I think that she has come to terms with, I'm not leaving her, and this is what it is. And she actually called me the other day and was like, "How are you guys? How far are you away from the floods that happened a few hours away?" So I don't overload her by just being like, my wife, you know, I respect that boundary. But I also always respond when she asks, and I just try not to, like, you know, work her up about that. The relationship that I have with my mom is quite strained. We're actually no contact right now and will likely be forever. But the last that we had talked, she was still processing me being in a relationship, and she does not approve. But that's that. My brother, now we were talking about siblings where Ashley was like, I knew I love you. And now my brother, he was shocked because, like I said, I kept it under wraps. So he's just like, so I'm not going to be an uncle. And I was like, you were never going to be an uncle. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, and we could still be aunts. I mean, he could still be an uncle. We could still be moms, but I don't want to have children, so, you know, but he was just like, okay, well, whatever makes you happy. And then, like, after he met her, he told my grandma, he's like, well, she's down there by herself, and Golden is keeping her safe, and she's not homeless, and she seems happy. We should be supportive. And I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
That matters.
Right.
And he loves Golden. He calls her his sister, and they talk often without me. So they have a nice relationship as well.
Good. Like I said, that sibling support goes a long way. It goes a long way. When it comes to your guys' relationship, you mentioned kids. Do you guys don't want any kids, or you guys, like, have you guys talked about that?
We don't want any kids. Lately, I work in education, so I see a lot of scholars that are, you know, disserviced, and I talk to her sometimes, and I've asked her before what she thinks about fostering, like transitional fostering. So we have talked about maybe in the future being transitional foster parents, for like middle school, high school, just to help scholars like finish up and go into, you know, college, into the real world. So that's something we talked about. But as far as having our own and having like a permanent family, I don't think that is something that we want to do.
We're gonna get a dog.
Yeah, I have one.
You're a dog, yes.
Yeah,
What?
my dad, he I remember when I told him, he was like, "So I'm not gonna have grandchildren." I said, it's technology is really advanced now. I can still have children. I just don't want to have children. And I was like, you got a son. You can have grandchildren.
Right. Just not for me.
It's not for me.
Yeah. So what made you guys decide this decision? Like, you don't want kids? Like,
You
what?
know what? We were actually just having this conversation the other day, and we are selfish.
I hear that.
I can say this out loud, and I feel like a lot of people are afraid to, but we are selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are selfish. We were just talking about, like, for dinner, I'm just like, honestly, we could eat chips, a sandwich, and go to bed. You know, we don't have, like, oh my gosh, we really have to make a meal. We got to get homework together, baths. It's just so nice having that silence, that peace of quiet. And we just enjoy just living on the edge. I just don't want to do it. And I work in education. I think that has a lot of influence on my decision as well. Like, 8 hours is the longest commitment I can do right now.
Mm-hmm. Is that how you feel as well, Golden?
The older I get, my patience is just not the best. And I know people tell me all the time, well, if it's your child, it'll be different. And I just don't want to risk that. Mm-hmm. I don't want to risk having a kid, and I'm just not, my maternal instinct just is not there. And I'm looking at this kid and I just don't want him or her. Because I'm so set on not having a child, I wouldn't want to put it in my mind to start having children because my family wants me to have a child.
Yeah,
because that's I mean, are you gonna help us financially? Obviously, we know that mothers do go through postpartum depression and things like that. Are you going to be here to support me? Like,
what does that look
like?
What
does that look like as far as a support system for people encouraging us to have children?
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you said maternal instinct, because I don't think I have it either. And I feel like people don't talk about that out loud, like whether you have it, because I don't think that we're born with it. I don't think that every woman is born with it. I think that it's something that you can develop. Like, there are people that deeply desire motherhood, and I'm not one of those people. So, you know, I'm glad that she said that. And also, like, we talked about that. Like, it's not even 18 years. 18 years is the minimum. Mm-hmm. It is a life sentence.
Right, it is
a responsibility, because the relationship that you have with your children and the relationship that they have with you, it doesn't stop after high school graduation. It doesn't stop after college. It continues through your marriage, through motherhood, through parenthood, whatever that looks like. Your adult children still desire that relationship with you. They still need you sometimes. So
I know people post babies and people like, oh, I'm getting baby fever. I don't get that.
Yeah. I hear you guys.
I don't get that. I used to, when I was younger, I used to babysit my cousins, and I used to hang around. I'm like, oh, I love kids. They're so awesome. Got older, was in a relationship with someone with children, and that also was a kind of a turning point for me as well. The children were great, beautiful, two little girls. They were amazing. But after that relationship, I was like, oh, I don't think this is the life for me.
Yeah. I agree with you guys, everything you're saying on the kids portion. I used to want to have kids. I actually used to want to carry everything myself. And then, you know, I got with my partner and she's like, yeah, I don't want kids. And so I was like, okay. So it just made me like reevaluate, okay, like I'm with someone and I know they don't want kids, but I know like if I wanted it, like she would. But I was thinking, like, I was like, okay, do I really want kids? Like, I always thought like I was like, this is a privilege. I'm a woman. I can have kids. So I always thought, because I'm a woman, I'm gonna have kids. Like, that just was my mindset. But then I was like, I don't have to have kids just because I'm a woman. I don't have to have kids, right? And you're right. Like, selfish wise, money wise. Like,
Yes.
Expensive. Oh my God.
so expensive. And like I'm just like, I want like get up and go. We did get a dog. We got this dog. I love my Bentley boy. I treat him as if he is a child, but like getting up and go even with him, finding a babysitter, a dog sitter, is not as easy as you would think it is, because I'm the type of parent, I'm not just gonna send my dog just to anybody too. And the kennels, those kennels, no, my Bentley boy deserves better than that. I want him to have a good life. So I'm like, I hear you guys 100% on the kids wise, and that changed my perspective, because, like I said, I just always thought, because I'm a woman, I have to have kids, and this is what you do: you get older, you get married, you have kids, and you raise the kids. Like,
You do all that, and that's not everybody's dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now a lot of women are coming to terms with that that's not what they want. Because when I was growing up, I thought I was gonna be married at 25 and have 2 kids. I thought that was the life that I was supposed to live.
mm-hmm. Like
And
that
then
was the American dream.
that is 20 at 25? No, absolutely not.
I was so relieved when I met someone who didn't want kids. I was like, thank God. Because I just knew if I would have married a man, I would have been fucked. I was so relieved. But to add to that point, there are quite a few of our peers that don't have children either. And we're pushing mid-30s. So a lot of women that we know are choosing to opt out or wait later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of my friend groups. Well, I wouldn't say that. They like a lot of my friend group right now. A lot of them don't have kids, but they've talked about having kids, or like they want to in the future. So, I think me and my partner are like one of the few that are like, yeah, we'll hold off on that. And like we have, I don't know if you guys have like nieces and nephews, so like they'll come over a little bit for the summer. We had all 5 of them at once.
5.
Yeah, and I was just like, this was crazy. Like having meals for 5 kids plus 2 adults every day, 3 meals a day, was wild for a week, because we had them a week, and I was just like,
crazy. Sometimes we would just lay around and won't eat until 2 o'clock.
Potato.
Our kids starving.
yeah. Yeah, not kids, which also is like, it just made more sense as to why parents, they just feed their kids shit, because it's like, it's so much easier too, because it's like you get them Pop-Tarts or cereal, all this shit full of sugar and fats, and it's like, it's just easy, quick, or just like, all right, everybody get a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Like, it was just like, I get it. And this is also why I don't need kids, because like they don't deserve, like, kids like that. I was raised like freaking Hamburger Helper, like all that stuff, like that junk food and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like it's quick, easy, because it's for parent, like it was easy to do, but it's not healthy at all. It just plays another role into like what you have to do, the care, the nutrition for a child, all the above. I'm just not ready for it. I'm glad you guys are on the same page with that, because like you said, finding someone who is on the same page with that, it's hard to navigate. And Golden, you mentioned being with someone with a child already, and I've had people, past guests on my podcast, and we've talked about that specifically, of like leaving those relationships and then not connecting with the child at all afterwards. Did you still get to maintain a relationship with or was that just like no?
We were for like about 2 years, or no, we were broken up for 3 years, and I have maintained a relationship with them. Even when I moved down to Texas, I had maintained a relationship with them. They even came down here for a week, but
cool.
But over time, and just talking to my spouse, it just wasn't realistic for us to maintain that relationship. I lived all the way in Texas. They still lived in St. Louis, and where does it make sense for us to still be maintaining that relationship when we're not in a relationship? We're not going to be back in a relationship, and then their mom is going to potentially move on. How does she explain to her new partner, mm-hmm. why are your children going to Texas to be with your ex?
Yeah.
I love them. I was in their life for a very, very, very long time. And I do think that I made a great impact on them, that they may or may not remember me. But I always wish them the best, still love them. And their mom sends me updates on them. They're doing great. They're fantastic. The oldest one about to graduate high school, so they're
That's
good.
That's cool. That's good that your ex like even allowed like that bond or that relationship to last. Because like I said in the past, like we've like my I literally just released an episode of a mother who conceived a child because she got tired of like being in a relationship and then someone with kids. And then when you leave that relationship, you're detached. So she wanted to have a child because it was like, this is my own baby, and you can't take this child away from me. And so when you were dealing with that, Golden, how did you, because we talk about experiences and this is something that you experienced, Doniesha, what was your perspective on that end, like with her and having like past relationships with kids with the previous
You know
relationship?
what? When she first pitched it to me, I was very much on board because I had already got wind of a conversation with their mom, and she seemed to be pleasant and was happy that Golden was dating me. So there was no malice there. So when she asked me if they could come for spring break, I said sure. I knew that she loved them and they had a great relationship. And they came down there, and I enjoyed them. I enjoyed their company. They are so cute, you know. And I do like children. I just don't want any.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed their company. However, when it was time to go, there was a little bit struggle with the little one being detached. She didn't want to go back home, and she didn't wanna. She was just crying at the airport, and I just felt bad because I'm just like I could tell how much she missed her and
Mm-hmm.
how much they both like wanted to still be a part of her life. And when we got back home, I had to look at her, and I was just like, long term, this is not going to be healthy for them, and it's not going to be healthy for us. And I'm a very practical person, so in my head, I was just like, how does this make sense if we don't want children?
Mm-hmm.
So it was an emotional conversation for us, but I told her, I said, this is nothing against the children. It's just the like she just said, the best thing for them when their mom moves on, that you've moved on, and that they build bonds with that way. So
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Communication is key in a relationship, y'all. If you did not know this, I think that was handled smoothly. I don't know if it's as smooth as y'all was talking, but like I feel like it's like you were open to it and like that conversation that you guys had. I think also too like no being in a queer in relationship, there's so many different things that come with it, right? Like if you're in a hetero relationship and you have a step parent that's in a real life, you don't even think like, oh, I'm gonna continue this relationship with this child, right? Like that's not something that like often gets thinking. It might, right? But it's not something that often gets thinking about. But when you're in like queer relationships, I feel like I don't know if queer people just emotionally are just like connected deeper than heterosexuals
they
and
are. Yeah.
naturally. I feel like that plays a big role in it into why like our relationships and dynamics are different than others. So it's awesome that you guys were able to communicate that and figure that out. So now you guys are in Texas. You're in education, and Golden. I didn't get your career. What and you're able to go remote.
I work in insurance, so I'm a
Okay.
catastrophe adjuster. So I travel around when there's big catastrophes and pay people money. It's not as easy as it sounds. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it can be really emotional. Sometimes you have to be empathetic and compassionate because I literally go to places where people have literally
Everything.
lost everything.
Yeah.
So it can be overwhelming sometimes, but it is fulfilling. I enjoy what I do. I've been doing it for 9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I meet a lot of people. I've seen a lot of places on companies' dime.
That's I love to hear that.
Blew my wife out a couple of times.
Okay.
Hey, love to hear that. And like, you do have to have compassion because I'm dealing with that right now. Just like an insurance agent, my grandmother's house burned down, total loss of everything, and I like I just had to be like on this guy's ass. Like I'm just like, bro, he like there was no compassion. I felt like he was just like he thought this like the insurance money was his money. Like it was just so hard to like navigate that system. And it was like if you don't hold like firm, like if my grandma was dealing with this, she'd still be going through it. Like if she was by herself, like luckily she has family and support, but it's like yes, if you're an insurance person right now, be a golden, show that empathy and compassion to these people because we are dealing with a lot for sure.
Respond to people. I make it my duty to call people back, answer phone calls, answer emails, because I mean they're looking to you for guidance. Most people don't know their policies.
Mm-hmm.
98% of people don't know their policies, don't know what's covered, don't know what's covered and what's not covered, and what steps they need to take to even get to be able to collect on their insurance policies.
100% right. Look, this is why. Hey, you never know what you're gonna get on Kueen Talk. Listen, Golden is so true. If you're listening to this right now, you need to check your policy. What is it covered? How much? If you have house insurance, how much does your house insurance cover? What's the property? How much does the property is it gonna cover if something happens? Is it gonna cover your living expenses if something happens? All the above. Check your policy. It is very, very important. That just goes like people, we don't talk about that. And you're in education, Doniesha. Like what classes in your school talks about like anything as to like real life taxes, insurance, anything like that in the education system?
You know what? I actually worked in elementary, so I work with pre-K through 6 and nothing. And also, like, I mean, even when we try to give scholars like real world examples specifically related to their behavior, they are not interested. So, but I definitely do think like maybe middle school and high school should definitely have conversations about that.
Yeah. Did you guys learn about like insurance yourself growing up, like in school? Like, how did you get involved with it, Golden?
So my degree is in personal financial planning. So some of my coursework was in regards to personal finance and insurance and retirement. So I took coursework on that, and I also took an internship while I was in college at an insurance company. So I did a cycle where I went through underwriting, I went through claims, went through the IT department, where I was able to touch on different aspects of insurance. And claims was the one that captured my attention a little bit more. I didn't go into insurance straight out of college. I did something else, but I eventually made my way into insurance. And it's such a learning curve, and it's just not taught enough. It's not taught enough in general, but it's really not taught in our community. And I know I get, because my friends and my family know that I work in insurance. They'll ask me questions in regards to some of their claims. Now I can't go into real details with some of them because I don't know their policies. I'm not licensed to sell insurance, so I can't recommend coverages to people. But I can go through what type of steps that they would need to take. I can help them look through their estimates and things like that on what possibly needs to be changed if they have additional damages that wasn't uncovered when their initial adjuster came out there.
Yeah, so I'm sure you're educating your family.
Get renter's insurance.
If you're a renter, definitely get renter's insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one even knows that's a thing. I didn't know that was a thing till I was like 28. I never had renter's insurance until I was like 28, and I was like, I had a landlord that highly suggested it. Was like, you need to get your own renter's insurance. And I was like, okay.
You know what? Here in Dallas, it's required.
Yeah.
If you rent, well, to my knowledge, it's required if you rent an apartment. They require you have renter's insurance.
Yeah, it's always tragic when rental property, like something like a big water damage or the house catches on fire. It's nothing that I can do for a tenant, because the policy is for the owner. So that's where renter insurance will come in and possibly provide additional coverages to you, especially when you're displaced, which is the biggest piece for some people. After things happen in those rental properties, they just don't have anywhere to go.
Right. And it's pretty affordable too. Like it's like 10, it can be like range from 10 to 20.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty affordable.
Yeah.
I really never had much insurance education. Again, I grew up with an elder who didn't even teach me about the birds and bees. So I literally had to learn everything as an adult. And honestly, I just asked her like a week ago. I literally just learned that there's a difference between a term and whole policy. I didn't know that until 2 weeks ago.
A term and whole policy, like
Life insurance.
Of life insurance. I need to get life insurance.
So I just
Get
like
life insurance.
Yeah, like I literally just learned like in the last year or two that you should have life insurance coverage outside your employer. So we're literally learning as we go.
Okay. Get life insurance too, y'all. Get life.
Families having fixed price to bury you.
Yes, or GoFundMe.
And a life insurance again is another affordable thing. Like we're not gonna have children, obviously, but if you have children, that is something to protect them in the future and kind of give them a head start on life. If something, don't want anything to happen to people, but it's life. Things do happen.
To piggyback, I actually added additional coverage because of the increase in school shootings. So again, we don't have children, but I work, in education, and sometimes violence comes to the school. He works out in the field. You never know.
I'm going to strangers' houses. You never know.
That
I can make somebody be having a bad day.
Yeah. You have to kind of plan and prepare. We also live in a city, probably even a state that has the highest a very large number of fatalities, auto accidents.
It's crazy.
So like when I moved here, my insurance went up $200.
Damn.
Zip codes. I have been with them 5 years. When I enter my Texas zip code, plus 200.
Jeez. Hey, I know that ain't the only thing that raised when y'all moved to Texas.
More drivers, the risk increase of
the accidents are ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It's these phones. Put the phones down.
It's the phone.
I'm sure it is, and it's like a 6-lane highway. Like
it's construction everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's growing so much. They keep building,
and everybody's speeding. Our speed limit is a minimum.
It's already 75. Now we 100.
So
hey, I ain't even gonna lie. If I see a guy or a car going faster, I'm gonna get behind the car, just start rolling with them. I tend to speed.
Not drive the speed limit because they're gonna be on your butt.
They on
your trunk. You can't see their headlights. You too close.
That's funny. So obviously, you guys are from Kansas City, St. Louis area, and they're not better. They're not better. They speed too. In Kansas City, that area, St. Louis, they speed as well.
My slate is right clean from Kansas City because before I was going through it, I was meant to live in a faster city because I could not keep it under 55.
She drive that Kia 5 like a Hellcat. 5 like a Hellcat.
Woo! I'm so relieved that I live somewhere where we can go a little bit faster.
I'm going to have to come visit you guys. I have family in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And so when I make my way to visit them, I'll definitely have to reach out to you guys. We're going to have to hit up.
Good time, man.
We'll connect you to the queer community.
Where do you live?
I live in Wichita right now.
You're still in Kansas. Okay.
Yep. I'm still here. Y'all got out, but I'm still over here for a little while. I've mentioned Texas to my partner a few times, and I think we're just gonna have to visit a little bit more because it's not on her radar. She like overlooks it every time. I'm just like, it is right there though. Like it's still close to home, but far away enough.
Something I missed about home weather-wise is an actual fall. Because here, summer is really from March until November. Right. I miss the snow, but I actually miss having a real spring and real fall. I'll admit that.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. I like don't blame you guys for like commuting to Texas. I totally understand why you guys would want to be there. and not want to come back. Is there anything else a part of your guys' story that you're like, man, I wanted to share that on Kueen Talk today?
No, I think we covered
I think we covered a good little chunk of
I'm
it.
glad you did reach out to us and we took the bait, because I do want to make it known that relationships with bisexual women and lesbians can be successful. So
Hey, you brought up a good point right there. You brought up a good point. It can be successful. I'm actually dating. She doesn't even want to call herself bisexual. I think she's just into me. So I think that's.
I think that was a conversation that I had to have with her, and I had to have with other people, because I said, just because she's married to me doesn't make this a lesbian relationship now. Like, she's very much still a bisexual woman. I know that she knows that we're not gonna identify her as something that she's not.
I appreciate her. That really made me feel seen, because I think somebody did ask her when right after we got engaged. They were like, "Are you sure?" Basically, like, she's never dated a woman exclusively, and you're trying to marry her, and she's only dated me, and like, "Are you sure?" And she's always confidently said yes, yes, yes. So I really appreciate her for standing up for me and standing up for our love, because there were a lot of other queer women just in friendly conversation like, couldn't be me. So it meant a lot for her to believe in me.
I've dated lesbians, I've dated bisexual women. If somebody is for you, they are for you. And this is the healthiest relationship that I have been in. And my wife is she's probably one of the most honest people I've ever met in my life.
Love that. I love that.
Even though I'm new, I've only been out for about 4 years. I don't play about her. I do not play at all. So that's why, I had to have that conversation with my family, and I just like, you on board or you ain't, because I will not talk to you again.
I love that. I love that.
It wasn't no just talking to be talking.
Yes. I think it is true. Like, a lot, that's been a conversation too. Like, I've seen that on my timeline of like bisexual women versus lesbians getting together. And I mean, like, you're still attracted to women. So it's like, if you are in a relationship, and I'm not going to lie, like, that took me a while to get past it myself. Like, okay, are you eventually just going to leave? Like, you have to like one more than the other more, right? Like, that was like what my mindset was going to, until like I found my partner. I was like, okay, you could really truly just love one person and just like be with that. Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm waiting, just I want something else or something different or like that. Like, it took me a while to see that for myself too. So
I remember when I started to like embrace and kind of like put myself out in the community and like join Facebook groups and stuff, and I used to run at her and say like, they're being so mean to bisexual women, and like learning what biphobia is. And she's like, baby, a lot of lesbians don't like bisexual women because of trauma, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but it can work. So I had to like calm down and like not project, because our marriage and our relationship is not everybody's experience. So I say, you know what, I'm not gonna keep fighting and arguing with people about the possibility. I'm just going to share our story and share our light, and maybe if it comes across other couples that are dating, like, okay, representation, and then we could just go from there.
I have one more question, and I'll like wrap it up. I know we're coming up to an hour, but it just like reminded me of a question that I wanted to ask. And being that you are like new to the community, and I hear you saying like you joined Facebook groups, you're learning different terms and whatnot, like that. Like, was there times where like Golden, what that Doniesha would like come to you and just like ask you things, and a part of the community like you didn't know either, like you're still learning, or just like different, like something that might be like a queer relationship or not, like versus like a heterosexual relationship?
I think that we are, because the times change, we are constantly adding new identities to our community. So it's always learning for everyone. I know last year, transphobia was on the rise. Just having conversations with people around you on things that are not appropriate for people to be saying, and how you can't say that you're an ally to us and then be transphobic. So that's a big thing. As far as questions that she's come to me, I've been able to answer them for the most part. I've been doing this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this now. But I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've kind of touched back on some of my own experience with her. I know how she stated. She'll read those comments in those groups, and everybody's upset with bisexual women, and just having to explain to her, like, a lot of times people are projecting. It's trauma based. It's not a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on our marriage, our relationship. So you just gotta just read it and move on, and all you can do is put out into the world what you are doing and what your relationship is. And if one person come across this and see, we've been married 3 years, lesbian woman, bisexual woman, and they gain something for it, get a better perspective, open up their heart, because maybe your spouse is bisexual and you didn't close that off because of trauma for someone else. Everyone should get a fresh start. Everyone should get a fresh start when you're on the dating scene.
And real quick, to piggyback that, like, something that a learning curve that I have gained from her on this same topic and conversation is to not say, I'm not gay and I'm only I only like her, or I'm only, what am I trying to say? Like, to not say, like, I'm not gay, it's just her, she's the only one. So she told me, she has taught me how that can be offensive to the queer community, because then it looks like I'm like not acknowledging, woman and woman relationships. So I have cleaned up my act, and I do not say that anymore. I stick to, like I was saying today, I was just like, this is my first relationship with a woman, my first exclusive actual relationship with a woman, the first time I dated a woman, but I don't say I'm not gay and I'm not lesbian anymore or anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to seem like,
even though I know she's joking,
yeah,
like, other people won't
I don't
take
want
it
to
that
offend
way.
other
Yeah.
people that other queer people that hear that, like, oh well,
Yeah.
Now we got some think pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I learned. I seen that happen on TikTok, and she was getting chewed. Went on. I said, I'm not gonna say that anymore.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. This is my last question. So, like, I wanted to like change it to you, like, Doniesha. You open up about like being a part of the community, and did you feel like you had to just like dive into the world and like go into those Facebook groups and like stuff like that, or like?
No, it actually took a while. It took maybe 2 years, because I was still a little nervous, like, even with Pride and, again, growing up with that religious trauma, being a culture kid, I'm still deconstructing to this day. But it took a while to be comfortable being my authentic self in those spaces, because I still felt like my grandma could see me. So it took a little bit, but like, fast forward to now, I comfortably join those groups because I want to make queer friends. We actually have a couple that we really like that I met
now
on Facebook.
She want to wear all the Pride stuff. She want to
yes.
She want to go to Oakland every other weekend. I'm like, oh my God.
I have merchandise and all of that. So, I'm in it. It took a while, but
every time we go out of town, she like, let's find somewhere
on Google.
On Google, do they got a neighborhood too?
Love that.
So much. She's always like, but and she's like, she said, I'm gonna be patient with you, baby, because you're new to it and you just found out.
Yes, I love that. Because it is like, once you start that community, like, you do like want to just like embrace it and like find it, like be able to live your truth like fully now. So I hear what you're saying. That's dope. I'm glad you guys found each other and you guys found that love. And it's been working out for you guys. You guys have been 3 years. You said October is your anniversary. So Congratulations to you guys. That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Moving across town and living with your partner, like that's a lot to handle, especially like dealing with the dynamics you guys had to go through, really leaning on each other and being your guys' support system, finding that community. I love to see it. I love, like, that's what we want on Kueen Talk, is community building, uniting together, and just family, friends, strangers, love and be nice. Like that's the motto. So any final words that you guys would like to leave the Kueen Talk audience today?
Definitely, if you were like me and you were closeted, I'm telling you, being on the other side is so much better. Like, I feel so much free. I wish I could have done this a long time ago, but there was no better time than now. So, we are here. Kueen Talk is here to support where you can have this representation. I am so happy. I definitely feel like God has introduced me to my soulmate. I do not feel like he loves me any less. So come to the colorful side.
Yes. And you, Golden?
For me, just be happy and proud of who you are. No more coming out. No, you don't have to. Don't sit your families down. You don't owe them that. Just be who you are. Love who you are. Put love out into the world, and you're gonna be happy, man. Don't live your life for other people. You have to live your life for yourself.
Hey, I love it. Live your life for yourself, especially if you've grown. Live your life for yourself.
Yeah.
You paying your own bills? Live your life for yourself.
Show money.
Don't nobody pay a bill in this house.
I love it. Thank you guys again so much for being a guest here on Kueen Talk. You guys, like I said, this is our first time we had a couple on Kueen Talk. It's been an honor. Thank you, Doniesha and Golden. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this episode, let us know. Let us know in the comments. If you guys are new here, like I said at the beginning, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Kueen Talk. We got a lot of amazing stories. If you guys have not done so already, please queentalk.com. Check out the merch. Show some support. Thank you guys again. I appreciate it. But yeah, so as always, family, friends, strangers, love, and be nice.